Here, what's up, boys and girls? Happy Monday. It's June 27th, 2022. And we got 9 games. 9 of them. Let's go. Yeah, 9 games. A lot of baseball tonight. A lot of new series cranking off. Should be fun. New pitching matchups to study. And lots of player props. And today is a good day. Today's a new day. Yes, it is. Because the WNBA stream's back in action. That'll be following this show, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. So we are the lead-in, right? We need no, actually, that last WNBA stream they did, Josh was on location in one of the Carolinas. I don't know. There's a couple of them. And in that one, they actually broke a concurrent viewer record for the WNBA stream. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they can keep that going, man. How'd you guys do? How was your weekend? Fun 4-game series with the Astros. Fun for 2 of the games. But it was great to have my favorite player on the planet walk off against those bums. Not once, but twice. It was so much fun. What up, Chester? What up, Mighty Saint? Robert, Tizzlemane. Steve in the chat says, "Yeah." No, wait, that's not good. It's a Scorpion. What up, ACP? Josh in the chat. Guys, every time I start stream, my nose starts itching. And it probably looks like I have like a coke problem or something. But I just want to make sure I'm not like bleeding. What the heck? Anyway. We got 9 games tonight. So first thing I like to do is I like to peek at Mr. Roth's weather report. If you guys don't have this tabbed already, I'll put it in chat. Looks like it's a pretty clean night. Pittsburgh at Washington, green, yellow. Lingering showers clear. Pre-game, low chance of a, quote, disrupted warm-ups late start. This game plays fine. And then the Athletics at the Yankees, also yellow. Says mainline clears in the afternoon with a few little spots of redevelopment possible back behind that line. We saw something similar in NASCAR yesterday where the stray storms happened to pop and camp over the track. Likely we avoid that fate tonight, but the chance is there for a late start if it happens. Guys, is this music too loud, too low? I don't know. My headset is so gosh dang loud, but I know it doesn't translate to stream 1-to-1. What up, Robert? You got that China White? What the F is that? China White. Anyway, let's get some games typed up. Easy does it. We're going to be looking at player props today. On top of our DFS leans, trying to make a list of pitchers to target. I'm going to tier pitchers, a couple stacks we are going to vibe with, and then, yeah, we'll cross-reference, bounce back and forth for some player props. All right, let's get some games typed up. So I guess technically this game is yellow, but he seemed pretty confident that it's not going to be an issue, so we're not going to adjust for the news here. Pirates at the Nats. I don't have either lineup confirmed. Matter of fact, I don't have many lineups right now. A couple trades happening. I saw Carlos Santana getting traded to the Mariners. Might be an indication that the Mariners, much like last year, and with the the plans being what it is, Mariners trying to make a move to make it to the postseason. And then, of course, you guys catch that Mariners-Angels brawl. You guys, Mariners trying to put themselves back on the map, right? That's what I would do if I was the owner and I wanted to stimulate my team's public perception, or just to get the public talking about my team, right? I got Julio Rodriguez here, and now let's go start a fight with a team that has Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. Or start a fight's a little stretch, but you know what I mean. Old Jesse Wanker. And then last year they made that, what was it, Toro Kendall Graveman trade. So we'll see if it works out. Pirates and Nationals. Pirates have a 4.4 implied run total. Nationals 5.3. Nats projected to do well here. And I guess in a sense, Eric Fetty is somebody that we don't necessarily ever roster. The Pirates have been a weird team to target all year. Yesterday, Shane McClanahan was everyone's favorite play on the day, but Eric Fetty is not Shane McClanahan, and this new look Pirates is kind of fun, right? O'Neal Cruz, Blythe Madris, Key Brian Hayes, Ryan Reynolds, already pretty solid fixtures in this lineup. It makes me wonder if I'm going to get to some Pirates stacks. Fetty has a 4.1 expected ERA, and Miguel Yair, I don't know. Yair? Miguel has a 8.05 expected ERA. He has relatively no innings of sample size to speak of, so I need to do a couple things. First of all, I want to make sure that this guy is long for this one. He's listed as a reliever. 0.1, 1.2, 2.1. So we might be dealing with a bullpen game. However, that was on May 1st, so they might have sent him down to get built up as a starter, and if that's the case, we'll double check. Jack Flaherty scratch. When that yesterday? Or no, yesterday. I don't know. Oh, you know what got me yesterday is, was it Flaherty? Chat, help me out here. Who was the pitcher yesterday that they came out and said it would throw like 85 pitches? So I take his over in DFS, and he gets injured after like 40 pitches. I don't know why my mind is thinking Flaherty. All right, last couple outings for him in the minors. 1.1, 3.2, 3.0. And in all of these outings, I guess he is a ground ball pitcher, but he is allowing some earnies. Not really a strikeout guy, it looks like. Overall, his 2022 minor league campaign, 12.2 innings, 12 Ks, 1.6 whip. So the whip is really high. So let's double check that walk rate. Matter of fact, let's split it. 4 walks in 5 innings to lefties, 4 walks in. Okay, so he has a command issue. It was Flair. Okay. My mind was like going nuts right there. I was like, who was it? It was Flaherty. Yeah, that sucked. So this kid has a command issue in the minors. He's also allowing a 391 average to lefties. He's really, for all intents and purposes, not good. Or at least in the small sample size we have. And looking at really the sample of any recent sample, although all of it is small, any recent sample is just like not doing him any favors. So let's go look at last year. Wait, no, tonight? Okay. No, you good, Steve. I appreciate it. Last year. So there's like never any sample, and all the recent sample is he's got some work to do. But he is a ground ball guy. Or was a ground ball guy in the minors. So far in the majors, 30% ground ball rate. But to left, he's keeping on the ground over 50%. All right, so in no way are we going to play him. I think we're just going to trust the run total, get to some Nats bats here. And then what do we do with Eric Fetty? Because I've seen Eric Fetty's name listed attached with some overs next to his name. And I do wonder if we can get back on the Pirates hype train that we were on before the Tropicana series. Because they were having a little bit of fun playing some baseball. And Fetty is not Shane McClanahan or Corey Kluber or just the Rays pitching staff. And Eric Fetty has a 7.3% swing and strike rate on the year. And my nose will not stop itching. In the last couple games has not gone over 10% swing and strike rate. And yeah, I mean, the Pirates are one of the worst teams in the league here. But man, this is not a lot to make you feel good. 496, 486, 555 on the xFIP. Sierra's been over 4 and 5 in each game. I really think I'm just going to stack both offenses here and not really dabble with Eric Fetty a little bit. But like I said, I have seen some people that I love and adore, respect, be on Eric Fetty's fantasy points over on PrizePicks, but I think I'm gonna sit that one out. So let's add Nats and Pirates to the stack list here, and depending on this Pirates line that comes out, you can give me O'Neal Cruz all day, every day. Brian Reynolds, Vogelback. This Fetty, to his credit, hasn't allowed a lot of power to really either side of the plate, but just the xFIP being so high, the strikeout rate being so low, we've seen this Pirates team kind of come through. And then guys like O'Neal Cruz are really, really fun because they do hit the ball really hard, but he also runs really fast and he steals some bases. So I would say if O'Neal Cruz is officially in the leadoff spot, and we don't have any props for the Pirates, if they add O'Neal Cruz, which I would assume they would, and he's in that leadoff spot, I would probably like his fantasy. I can't imagine his fantasy being over 7.5. I think he's got a good power and stolen base mix. And then I'm thinking, yeah, we could target a yes run first inning, but maybe we could also just target over 1.5 hits if that's on the board. So let's make that a part of it, like a lean. Prize pick leans. Let's go Pirates, Nationals, yes run first inning, or I'll go over 1.5 hits and or yes run first inning, but the hits would be the priority first, right? I think both pitchers are bad enough to give up some hits. But then again, this Miguel guy does walk the world, so that might be beneficial for the yes run. I don't know. What up, Wes? No Fetty way. Yep. What up, KJ? Josh, Mr. Monty. A lot of Joshes hanging out today. We're just joshing around. Specific plays here. Fetty, like I said, his power profile really isn't like that egregious. It's just he sucks. He doesn't strike you out. Pitches to contact. And Juan Soto would be the guy that we target all day, every day on the Nationals team. Nelson Cruz, a couple homers lately. Josh Bell. This is a really cheap game stack too. So I think this Nats bullpen is below average in really every category. And they have a 118 homer per 9 plus. So allowing homers 18% above league average, which is also below. I don't know. It's confusing. Anyway, so we're just gonna go after both offenses. Let's push up let's push into the next game. Here we go. Now the party started. Now we can talk athletics in Yankee Stadium. And if you missed the first couple minutes, Mr. Roth has designated these first two games with yellow, but it sounds like he's pretty confident that we're not going to actually have issues. We do have a confirmed lineups for both the Yankees and the Athletics here. Yankees coming off a pretty exhausting 4-game series over the weekend. I'm not going to say this is a trap spot, but you know. They should get some free dubs here, but man, that was basically some playoff baseball over the week. Jose Trevino's behind the dish today. Let's go. Jordan Montgomery. All right, so at the end of yesterday's game, in the 9th inning, I believe, Gleyber Torres stole second and then got to third on a bad throw, and then weird play where he rolled his ankle on the third base line and was taken out. So he's not in the lineup today, which is going to insert Marwin Gonzalez in the infield. Also not in the lineup is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and his defense is becoming a problem as well. So little new look here. I'm hoping the Yankees call up one of the kids soon. I'm tired of calling up and sending down Andahar, but it is something to watch, is the health of Gleyber. I think he's going to be fine. I think it's just like a rolled ankle. Maybe it's a little swollen. But it's a little different lineup today. So we still get Judge. We still get Stanton and Rizzo, the death row here. But we're up against Paul Blackburn. And Blackburn is one of those contact on purpose pitchers with a high ground ball rate, especially against righties. A 56% ground ball rate right now to right-handed hitters with just a 16.7% K rate. So you keep the ball on the ground, you can eat some innings here. Might actually surprise some people. With that said, Yankees 5.6 implied run total, one of the highest on the slate. I believe they are tied right now with the Blue Jays. So because of the run total, oh, never mind, the Dodgers are in Coors. Because of the run total, people might go there, but also because of the Dodgers and Coors, maybe they don't get there as bullish, but I can't really like push back. But when we're playing, if we're playing Yankees players today, I think looking at the starting matchup, we're really just kind of banking that the talent comes through over this ground ball rate, because Blackburn really isn't that bad. A 2.97 ERA, I think that's one of the better in the league. And he's not giving up a ton of power. Last game he did give up some power though, 2 bombs. Let's see. Blackburn. Against lefties, Blackburn 0.9. That's very uncharacteristic, but I am curious to see what happened for that. Let's go batted ball. Who got him? Winker and Cal Raleigh. So 2 lefties, right? I think Raleigh's a switchy and Winker's a lefty. Is there something in his batted ball data to lefties that make me think that Anthony Rizzo, you know who might be interesting is Joey Gallo if he's going against a contact pitcher, you know? Gallo is striking out a lot. So if you're going to dare him to put the ball in play, that's intriguing. Batted ball data to lefties. The ground ball rate drops a little bit. His line drive rate's almost at 30% with a 40% pull rate. Hard contact rate still below league average, but yeah, maybe there's some life in there for Rizzo, and really Gallo is the one that's a little bit more intriguing. Gallo actually has a 3.97 bomb detector rating, so that's intriguing. That really is. Gallo being in a 9-hole, really cheap, might be fun for DFS. So we're gonna stack some Yankees here, and then it goes without saying, Jordan Montgomery at 8K. Boy, that is a hard price point to fail at, right? I think he's going to be one of the highest owned pitchers on the slate. He's a minus 310 favorite. So a lot of things going his way for fantasy points. And then just matchup wise, this confirmed Athletics lineup: Chatty Pendergrass, a 25% K rate, Bethancourt 23, Sean Murphy 26, Sheldon Noisy 28, Nick Allen and Tony Kemp is a lefty here. So definitely some guys he can get through, and a little bit more power to speak of here. And then, of course, yeah, they get a major park boost here. But, man, I think Monty at 8K, that's a hard price to get away from. So we're going to likely nominate Jordan Montgomery as a, tier 2. Yankee stack down here. I can't play Paul Blackburn. And I'm not likely to get to any athletic stacks. I don't even know that I want to get to some one-offs, but if he had some Pinder, Laureano, or even Sean Murphy, I guess I wouldn't fault you for it, but I'm really just not there. And then Jose Trevino being behind the dish for the Yankees, he's one of the better pitch framers in baseball, so can steal a couple of strikeouts. So that's what we got on that one. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators or no, I'm not going to do that. Maybe for basketball. All right, let's go look at the props for this game. What's Jordan Montgomery at? 33.5 fantasy points, 5K. So, and 91.5 pitches. I do think Monty has an opportunity to go deep today. I don't want to get to like 100 pitches, but I think 90 plus, 6-7 innings is not outside the range of possibilities. Like I said, 4-game series against basically a playoff team. The Yankees had to reach into their bag of tricks. They had to go to extra innings yesterday. Used up Castro, Clay Holmes. But Holmes will be available, but I mean, if you had to get to Clay Holmes against the Athletics, something went wrong. Michael King has pitched the last 2 days. Yankees never go 3 days in a row, so he would likely be off the board. Lucas Licky, I guess, would be available. Wandy Peralta maybe would be available, but I wouldn't expect it. Ron Marinaccio, do you know he's fourth in inning? I think it's fourth. It's top 5 in consecutive innings without a run allowed. I didn't realize he was like doing that well. And then Albert Abreu got picked up, which this is so ironic because Abreu was part of the trade, I believe, that netted Joey Gallo, and they just end up getting him right back. So I guess there are some names available, but you might be trying to conserve the front end after the weekend. So let's give Monty a 6-inning start, but I do think there's a chance he can go 7, especially if he's being efficient, and he generally is. Let's see, walk rate is pristine to Pulse. He hasn't walked a lefty all year. That's incredible. Walk rate to righties 4.8. I'm gonna give him 6 point. I'll give him 6 innings, but I think 7 innings is on the board. But let's do what the flip. All right, let's do 6 innings. So that's gonna be 6 times. Let's bring up the scoring chart here. I almost want to give him a strikeout per inning, but I'm not going to do that. If I don't do that, then I want to give him 7. So it's going to be 18 outs plus. Let's give him 5 Ks for now. So we're going to do 5 times 3 plus 18. That's 33. So 33 without the quality start and the win. And his fantasy point line is 33.5. So, and I think I'm being conservative on the inning projection and the strikeout projection and not giving him the quality start of the win. So I'm thinking Jordan Montgomery 33.5 fantasy points is something that we add to the list. Montgomery 33.5 FPS. Oh yeah. And it's okay to like not add in the quality start for now, because we could just use that to erase the potential earned runs allowed. There it is, right? Yeah. I'm looking at 2 different Fanduel projections on Montgomery that does not get there. Man. What are you seeing, Steve? I think 5 strikeouts, 6 innings, a quality start, and a win is a super conservative line to give him against the Athletics. Meaning there's a lot of room for more. When is Fangraphs? There's a place we both know well. Oh, is Osmo projecting him under that? I guess maybe. I mean, that's the baseball projections can differ pretty vividly. All right, you guys, we could say Osmo or Stochastic. It's okay. The only thing I don't do is that I don't like to leak their ownership projections, because that's super proprietary and I don't have permission to do all that. All right, Red Sox at the Blue Jays. So a little AL East rivalry going on here. Connor Siebold, we all know him, on the bump against Kevin Gausman. The battle for who might have a shot at second place, right? You guys been paying attention to this All-Star voting? The Blue Jays getting a little little pumped up by having an entire country being able to vote for them. Gabriel Moreno. All right, we got Gossman on the bump against Connor Seabold. Yeah, that's right. $31.18 on Stochastic. I can say that because they are free today. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Red Sox will call up Seabold from AAA Worcestershire Sauce to start Monday's game in Toronto. All right, cool. So let's see what we're dealing with, Mr. Seabold. I can't imagine that we're gonna throw him against the Blue Jays. Also, can't imagine I'm gonna listen to that for another 2 minutes. Splits on Seabold. 22 innings against lefties, 17 Ks, a 0.69 nice ground out to error ratio. So he's less than a strikeout per inning. He has 9 flipping walks in 22 innings. That's keeping his whip at almost $1.25. However, we can kind of forget lefties, right? There's no lefty, well, likely no lefties in the Blue Jays lineup. So we can lean on these righty splits. 29 innings against righties, 34 Ks. So strikeout pitcher, 2 righties with 5 walks in 29 innings, so a little bit better, a lot bit better. The whip goes down to 0.83 with a 0.86 ground out to error ratio, and has allowed for 1 homer. So that sounds good against a bunch of righties, but keep in mind it's rare that we just translate stats like that from the minors to the majors, and it's also the Toronto Blue Jays. There's a lot of nerves and all that stuff here for Seabold, but he is 4K. He is 4K. He's 4K. 1 inning in his last outing. I don't know what happened there. Maybe they were like, all right, you're coming up, kid. 6 innings, 5 innings, a couple games before that. 6 Ks, 4 Ks. So I guess for all intents and purposes, if we really just isolate his righty splits, assuming he's going to see essentially all righties tonight, he's fundamentally not horrendous and can get strikeouts. But the Blue Jays are the Blue Jays, and we see all too often these call-up pitchers that have a lot of hype take some time to develop to those big league bats, and then also, they have a lot of unquantifiables to wrestle with. The fact that he's 4K on DraftKings is a little bit intriguing to me. If you're a 150 guy, maybe you open up 5% of that in an SP2 spot and go crazy with the Dodgers and Coors or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a strong maybe, but I don't know that I want to do that. Did they give us anything on Seabold? No. Cool name. Judge for MVP? I would say yes, but I also feel like if Ohtani wins MVP for the next 4 years, like, it makes sense. But it almost feels like the LeBron level, where, like, yeah, LeBron's the best player, but let's give it to somebody else, right? So I don't know if there's going to be voter fatigue, but it's hard to say that Shohei Ohtani is not the most valuable baseball player on the planet just because he goes 2 ways, right? You have 13 Ks and a bunch of homers in the same week. That's pretty gosh dang valuable. If you were going on batter alone, like if we're splitting pitch, because Ohtani's really like his own, it's just not even fair. If Ohtani didn't exist, yes, it's Judge. Judge's defense is nuts. The fact that he's just like seamlessly transitioned to center field and is playing incredible in center field on top of all of his offensive accolades this year, then yes. But that's the asterisk. I'll concede that Ohtani just fundamentally is probably the most valuable player in baseball. But I don't know. Maybe we get some voter fatigue, you know? What up, Brandon? Appreciate that. Blue Jays lineup just came out. All right, does he have any MLB numbers? So, yeah, he did pitch last year. Last year I got a lot of not what you want. A 13.5 homer per night. So I guess he had 1 or 2 games. He had 3 innings last year, and he got smacked around. So this is just big field tournaments. Don't be playing this guy in small field unless you're just a psycho and want to stack cores and like Yankees or something. I don't know. Let's see what the Blue Jays looking like. Looking at therundfs.com, MLB VIP, Discord, Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, Alejandro Kirk, Teoscars, Gurriel. So Lourdes. Guys, did you know Yuli Gurriel is like 38? Oh, I did that wrong. Teoscar is batting fifth. Teoscar Hernandez. I don't know why I thought that dude was young. He like won the freaking batting title last year. Like, what? So they're gonna have Kevin Biggio. So they do have one lefty. Kevin Gossman on the bump, 9,800 for him. Incredible start to this season. The last couple of outings hasn't quite been as sharp results-wise, I guess. So maybe we get some time to dig into it. Ultimately, a tough matchup. 6 innings against Chicago, 107 pitches, 7 Ks, a couple of earnings for 18 fantasy points. Baltimore got to him. The Detroit game was okay. We're definitely looking at a much different result in his last 5 or 6 outings versus the beginning of the season where he was just dropping 30, leading the league in whiff rate and all that stuff. So I think it's fair to spend a minute or two kind of figuring out what the heck is happening. So let's pull up his recent game log. And in chat, if you guys already got the answer to this question, share it with the class, because certainly an interesting question, right? 20 to 24% aggregate swing and strike rate in his first 4 or 5 games. There was a game against Boston where it was sub 20%. But think about this, guys. 18% is like the best in the freaking planet if that was like sustainable. So that's not a bad thing. It's just like less than super elite that he was. Like 13-14% swing and strike rate is great. So 18 is not bad. It's just like happens to stand out there. And the last couple of games, 3 to be exact, 13+%, a little bit more normal. Batted ball data, 3.26 xFIP, 3.1, 5.25, 4.31. So there's 2 games in here with an above 3 xFIP. The rest of that, the xFIP's okay. It's not like super ace Gossman Cy Young candidate stuff, but it's not horrendous. And then what's StatCast telling us? The hard hit rate is still like fine, right? At the beginning of the season, it was a lot of 40s and 50s. So are we dealing with a little bit of unluckiness or not? BABIP has really gone up in 3 of his last 4 games. 529, 583, 412. Even at 316 is a little elevated. 333. So 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row really have elevated BABIP. Even in the beginning of the season, he had a BABIP problem. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence here, chat. Like, obviously we're going to play him, but I'm just wondering at what aggressiveness. And then the hard contact rate in that last game was pretty high, but prior to that, it was pretty decent. All right, I just think he's consistently inconsistent, so we're going to get to some. Right now, I'm going to nominate him at the top of the tier 3. I do think he has a chance to go up. I'm going to hold out for this Red Sox lineup, because I do think this Red Sox lineup will have an aggregate of like 22% K rate, depending on who actually is in it. You never really know who's going to be in the lineup in the first game of a Toronto series because of the vaccine mandates. But Devers, JD, Xander would be the main concerns here. And then I guess Verdugo, to his credit, is the hardest K on the team. So, yeah. Alejandro Kirk is nuts. It's stupid how good he is becoming. My BVP guy. What up, Dylan? Any thoughts on Giolito, high upside versus the Angels? There is, but Giolito's also been kind of walking backwards. We're definitely going to dive into his recent splits as well. All right, so we'll get to a little bit of Gossman. I think you can justify both teams here. I wouldn't really want to be that invested in the Red Sox, maybe a little sub-stacky. Devers, JD, Xander, stuff like that. Blue Jays definitely qualify as a big stack if this kid implodes in the major league level and then they dip into the bullpen a little bit. Definitely some upside for this team, and then they're at home, so that's always boding well for them as they try to make up some ground in the AL East behind the Yankees. So we'll get to a little bit of the Toronto. Toronto also, I think, is good right now, tied for second in implied run total. So yeah. But this kid in the minors, not the worst against righties. Actually pretty solid, but it's hard to believe that translating. I will say at 150 lineups on DraftKings, 4K for him and his potential righty splits is going to make like up to 5%, probably. Probably, maybe, possibly. Was the good games versus the Sox before Boston started hitting and went on the win streak? You talking about the Gossman good games? He had a 31. I think it's only one game. No, it's 2 games. 30. So what was that, 29, 31? I mean, teams getting hot happens, but I don't know that I would overreact or underreact to that. I mean, that was April baseball. It was a lot cooler back then. Suspiciously acting baseballs to better ball events. I don't know. But he's still a good strikeout guy. I mean, ultimately, like, there's a range of outcome no matter how we split this for Gossman for him to be the top scoring pitcher on the slate. There's also an argument that he shouldn't be under 10K. But at the same time, there's an argument that, hey, he has not been that good and he's not netted us 20 fantasy points in a month. So that is a little Scumdacker-esque for the people. All right, let's get the next game typed up. We got Minnesota, Twins, and Guardians. So both lineups confirmed already. That's good. That's what you want. I didn't really think that there would be a prop on that Blue Jays game that I would feel warm and fuzzy on. But if you guys have some props in your back pocket that maybe I'm glossing over, definitely share it with the chat. We'll investigate. We got Sonny Gray on the bump for Minnesota. Guardians at home here. Steven hit the Quan. Rosario, J-Ram. Guys, did you guys hear anything about Jose Ramirez's thumb? Apparently it's a thing, but it's not enough of a thing to put him on an IL. But I was reading some like beat writer report and they were worried about it, but I don't know. Tristan McKenzie. I feel like we just saw this matchup. McKenzie versus Gray. Am I tripping? So Gray, Cleveland on the 22nd. Maybe we didn't. No, it was. Okay. All right. I knew it. Sonny Gray at 278 expected ERA, 103 WHIP, 27% K rate, and then Tristan McKenzie a 22.4% K rate this season with a 4.36 expected ERA. McKenzie is one of those. It used to be one of those 3 true outcome pitchers. I guess this year against righties, he's chopped that walk rate in half. But he's one of those, if he's not striking you out, there's a good chance you might send a ball over the wall. This is out in progressive. Progressive plays literally neutral to home runs. So solid spot for these Twins righties to tap into his 1.7 homer per 9 to righties. And then, of course, some familiarity as they saw each other 5 days ago, and they might have those iPads and be like, yo, Byron, this is how he pitched you 5 days ago. He's probably going to do that again. So, yeah, I like Buxton. I like Correa. Definitely like the Twins stack. Twins are at just a 4.3 run total. And I guess the Guardians bullpen's definitely been pretty solid. Clase is a freak. So I would understand some hesitation here at these prices, 5 to 6K. I imagine people are going to be less likely to click 5 to 6K names when Coors is on the slate, when you got the Yankees that run, total Blue Jays, whatever, which, you know, in theory kind of makes the Twins a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to add the Twins to the old stack list here. And then Gray and McKenzie. So Sonny Gray has a 26% K rate to lefties so far this season. And I know the Guardians do not strike out. They actually might lead the league in strikeout percentage in a good way, just 18% against righties. But they don't offer like a ton of scariness when it comes to ISO. It's J-Ram, it's Josh Naylor, and then they are sandwiched, Oreo'd, if you will, with guys like Owen Miller, Luke Malley, Miles Straw, Stephen Kwan, Ahmed Rosario. These guys all have like an aggregate 100 ISO against righties. So it's kind of a spot where Sonny Gray was working on on building his pitch count out, and he got to 85 last game. Might it help him eat another inning if he pitches to contact a little bit more, right? 8 hits in that last game. I get it. You put the ball in play, you're more likely to get a hit than striking out. But I don't think it's in an outlandish range of outcome for Sonny Gray to come through with a solid SB2 score. And I would say the same about McKenzie, but I'm a little less warm and fuzzy on McKenzie here. What are we dealing with on the prop world? One of the bets, right? Is that the word? One of the bets I saw on Sonny Gray last week that actually worked out pretty solid is, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I believe last week they launched this MLB Live tab, meaning a lot of these props happen to be posted in the middle of games, and Sonny Gray had like a half a strikeout prop, and he does it again this week, this game, but it's only first inning. Last week it was first and second inning with half a strikeout as the prop, and I thought that was like too good to pass up. Today at 1 inning, especially with Kwan, Rosario, J-Ram, I'd probably sit that one out. But keep an eye on this tab, guys. This is a unique thing that they've added, and you know we love some prize picks, but they've been making some mistakes at this tab as well. So not a crazy. They've sometimes put props here that should be elsewhere and vice versa, so it's definitely intriguing. McKenzie's at 1.5 strikeouts for the first 2 innings. That's interesting. But anytime anyone's at half a strikeout, I gotta take a look at it. Anyway, McKenzie. Actually, let's go. What can we get on the Twins? What can we get on Buxton? Since this lineup is confirmed, Buxton has a 4.5 home run rating in the bomb detector. Did he homer off of McKenzie last week? Because I feel like he didn't play that game. All right. Can we get Buxton, in my head, looking at this lineup, can we get Buxton, Correa? Gary Sanchez would be nice, but he's a strikeout. Can we at least get a home run triangle with Buxton and Correa? No. They put in Gio Urshela. Fudge. All right, I would have liked the home run. I don't hate it if you think Buxton homers, but I wish they had Correa over Gio Urshela in the home run triangle. And then Buxton Fantasies is live since he's going to have the highest rating in the bond detector. So we're going to go Byron Buxton. We'll nominate Fantasy, also total bases, but also Fantasy. Over 8 FPS and 1.5 TV. By the way, chat, if you guys want to get on some of this player prop action, I'm going to post a couple links in chat. Sign up using code GUNDACKER. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. And then not only do we get our fixing on prize picks, but we also get it on Underdog. And then, hey, if you don't feel super confident with like 5 baseball picks or whatever, stick around. WNBA's coming up after this show. And Josh and I think Eric will have some WNBA spins here, so you can make some multi-cards. I also usually post my full list in the free Discord, the Gundacker Gaming free Discord. Link to that's in the description below. Check this out, man. Round the clock. We got over 600 of you guys crushing it. And if you guys have become channel members, I think it's like $5 a month. There's a join button below. You can link your Discord to your YouTube, and it'll unlock some of these channels. Josh has been posting his list. Whenever we play, we share our list, and then I do it as well. I have been pretty nice in posting it for free. I don't like tag everyone, but it's kind of like a reward for you guys that are, chatting it up. By the way, Funny from Quattro when I'm in a blown save competition and my opponent is Kenley Jansen and Craig Kimbrell. Last night, Sunday Night Baseball. It got weird, mama. Anyway, get in the free Discord. Be cool. Be one of us. What's up, Cowboys? What up, MLB GOAT? I'm rocking with Judge 1.5 TB today. I think that walk-off was the start of a streak. Hey, you ain't gonna get no pushback from me, my dude. Not gonna happen. By the way, I appreciate that sub. I don't think I recognize your name. What up, Ryan in? Kirk is only 4,100. Will Smith 5,300 cores. Kirk has almost as many dong shots and half the at-bats. Yeah, Alejandro Kirk's a monster. Josh says Buxton didn't play that last game. All right. All right, let's get the next game typed up. We got the Marlins going into St. Louis. Finally, a game that's not 100 degrees out there, bro. Yo, I've been stacking the Cardinals all weekend. Goldie's been coming through for me, but I've also been chasing Nolan Gorman for like a week now, it feels like. Jacob Stallings. All right, Pablo Lopez on the bump for the Marlins. I don't have confirmed lineups here, so I'm just going to type the projected. I'm also going to spell Donovan wrong. Dylon. All right, Waino on the bump. How long is Yachty down for? He went to Puerto Rico to rehab. On a 10-day IL? They let him go to Puerto Rico? Is that like... I guess it's America, but... feels like you wouldn't want, in the COVID climate, somebody to leave the country. So Wainwright without Yachty as his battery mate. Did they do that last game? Baseball reference. Not that it like really matters, but it's my brain works weird. Sorry. These guys are just an opener. Josh, I don't know. Because like if you look at his game log, it's easy to like snap judgment that. But remember, that's in May. They sent him down, and he was playing like he was, I believe, stretched out in the minors. I'll double check that, but I feel like we just talked about that. Here we go. Yazur. Game log. So 1.1, 3.23. So like he hasn't gone to like 5-6 innings. So I guess technically an opener. But he might go like 3 innings, possibly, which is a little bit more than you expect from an opener. I just stay away from him if that's what you're asking. But yeah. What am I looking for here? Let's see. Finders, advanced. So with Yachty catching him, and this is a little weird, I get it. With Yachty catching him, and Yachty's caught him for 80 years now. Waino has a 2.84 ERA. In 11 innings of Kisner catching him, he's got a 6.5 ERA, a 300 batting average allowed, 311 batting average allowed. His BABIP rise way up, so that's likely to come down. and 2 bombs. So I guess what's most tangible, I guess, would be the strikeout and framing. 12 Ks in 11 innings, so that's more than a strikeout per inning, whereas Yachty's significantly lower. But the slugging, everything else drastically increased. Now that's not fair because it's not, put in context to the 11 innings of sample size, but that's just something my brain needed to see, thinking about Waino not being caught by Yachty here. Pablo Lopez on the road this year, 23.5% K rate, 108 on the home run per 9, throwing a lot of strikes, and he's also hitting that skip button on Spotify. 9,100. I don't even want to isolate, but he strikes out righties at a much greater clip than lefties, about 30% aggregate since the beginning of last year, slightly above. Lefties, the K rate plummets here, and he might see 4 lefties in the lineup. We'll see. But he does keep the ball on the ground. He's kind of hard to really isolate and target for like a blow-up spot. And with the temperatures coming down a little bit out here at Busch Stadium, breeze blowing in, Cardinals implied for 4, Marlins implied for 3.6. I think it's easy to maybe write this game off, but I would probably want some loose exposure to the pitchers in Matchville tournament, and then we're just stacking some talent, but we don't have to get too aggressive. I don't think I would stack either in 20 or less. 36 fantasy points last game against St. Louis. I would imagine that was in Miami. Yeah, it was. So we'll get to a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna get to Wainwright. But it's one of those, if I'm not going to stack, I don't know. Wainwright's always been a guy that I'll play on Fanduel, try and get that 6-7 inning quality start. 4.2 innings against Milwaukee. The previous couple games, 6 to 7 innings. And at home this year, he has performed significantly better. It's a much more pitcher-friendly park, obviously. Different battery, though. 7,600. I guess if you're just looking for 14 fantasy points, a 3.6 run total, a pitcher-friendly park, a breeze blowing in, it all kind of sets up for it. So, it would kind of be like a begrudgingly, I would be begrudgingly allowing him into the player pool. But that's for, big, 100, if I'm trying to build out a 100, 150 lineup portfolio, I don't know that I'd quite nominate him for 20 or less. That's when I put a little bit more emphasis on ceiling, and I don't know that he has a ceiling that I need to chase against the Marlins, but we'll see what it is. There are some strikeouts to be had in this lineup, but it's just Wainwright's not a strikeout guy. 6% swing and strike rate. The fact that he had 7 last game is kind of incredible. So I'm gonna leave him out the player pool for now, but I will get to some Pablo because I do think there's a range of outcomes for his 30% K rate in Busch Stadium to play positively for fantasy. And then both teams are stackable. Cherry picking Jazz Chisholm anytime he's on the slate is a fun strategic move. And then Goldie, Arenado, Gorman, I like that lane for the Cardinals. And then Tommy Edman and Bader, if they're in the lineup and they reach, those are 2 guys that can steal some bases, kind of raise the floor. So I'm also going to be trepidatious on adding them. Definitely don't want to prop hunt. I don't know. Does Pablo have a can't miss? If it's 5.5 or less on his strikeout, maybe. It's at 5. I think 5 is a solid push potential, but I would really want to see the lineup before I lock that in. I definitely think 5 is a push right now. So let's put that on the list. Pablo Lopez over 5 Ks, and then asterisk double check lineup. That may come down later, but that 30% K rate to righties could really come to play. Yeah, I know. Wonder if Seabold's just an opener. Now he's definitely stretched out a little bit more, but I mean, if you get smacked around, everyone's an opener in that regard, right? What's up, Travis? How are you feeling about the Rangers today? I haven't got to that game just yet. I'm going game by game. I'm literally rubbing sleep out of my eyes, guys. So This is whenever I do these streams, it's almost always first look live research. But Texas is the next game, so there's that. I don't know why. I don't know. It feels like something's in my eye. I have itchy nose, something in my eye. And I took a shower. I don't know. All right, Rangers against Bubich. All right, to answer your question, yeah, it's Chris Bubich. We can do this. Corey Seager, Mitch Garver, Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Josh Smith, Charlie Culberson, Leody Tavares. This is a projected lineup, by the way. Martin Perez on the bump. I typed Nathaniel Lowe. Oh my gosh. What am I? Oh my gosh. All right, we do have a confirmed Royals lineup. Royals traded away Mr. Santana earlier today. So a little bit of a... Dude, what is up with my typing today? Good Lord. Edward Olivares. My typing is so bad today. All right, Bubich on the bump for the Royals. So Bubich is definitely somebody we like to pick on. A 6.02 expected ERA, a 1.8 whip. Just bad to both sides of the plate. Ironically, extremely bad to lefties so far. A 469 average allowed to lefties with a 4.76 home run per nine. Let's go look at the sample size on that. That's insane, actually. But it's not like he's had one start. How many innings? Oh, it's 5.2 innings. So he tends to see a lot more righties than lefties. He's allowed 3 homers and 5.2 innings to lefties. That's pretty wild. 3 homers in 28 innings to righties. That's a little bit more on par with what the average should be. Like I said, about 1 per 10 is about what you expect. Maybe 1 per 9. You know what I mean? 25 Ks in 28 innings and a 243 average allowed. And what we also really like in this batted ball data to righties is that 29% line drive rate. So all that's going to play pretty positively, parlaying that with a 7.5% swing and strike rate. So definitely think Texas is on the board as a playable team, and a lot of high ISO since the beginning of last year against lefties, including Corey Seager, who might continue those lefty splits for Mr. Bubich. Adolis Garcia with a 200 plus ISO. This 1 through 5 in the projected lineup, Semien, Seager, Garver, Garcia, and Jonah Heim all have a 200 plus ISO against lefties since the beginning of last year. And we have Mitch Garver at the top of the team's bomb detector at 4.09. A lot of positive WRC pluses as well. And then behind Bubich is a bullpen that is below average in really everything except homers, and that might be a product of Kauffman Stadium. So we can definitely get behind the Ranger stack, waiting on the confirmed lineup. Royals lineup against Martin Perez. Perez has been... He's having the best season of his life. A 3% barrel rate this year, a 3.13 expected ERA, the sub-2 ERA. The Royals on the season have had a slightly above average WRC plus against lefties, slugging over 400. How much of that is Salvador Perez? You know what I mean? If I take Salvi out of this, is that a league average or below league average team in WRC plus against lefties? And then Martin Perez has just been really, really doggone good. So I think that we're going to nominate Ranger stacks for sure. But what do we do with the Royals? 6, 7, 5, 6 innings from Martin Perez last couple outings. Might give up 1 bomb in a game, but it's rare that he does that. The walks are usually not a thing, but he has had 2 walks or more in 3 of his last 4 games. And then, yeah, he'll ground ball you to death. And in this park, he might get bailed out. So what's his fantasy line on PrizePicks? 32.5. That's actually lower than Montgomery. The only thing is Montgomery is somebody I think will steal a few more strikeouts than Martin Perez, but 20% K rate and potentially 7 innings. What's his out prop? We don't have an out prop for him. We do have a pitch prop and hits allowed. All right, all these are just kind of sus. If they would have gave us like an innings prop that's worth sweating, I would even... Usually I hate 18.5, but I wouldn't hate him going 7 innings today. So, but I don't like any of those props, so I'm just gonna play him in DFS a little bit. Tier 3. Let's add the Rangers. Obviously, I think you could justify the Royals, but they have just a 4-run total, and this is more of a cherry pick spot for me than anything. And I'll have more Martin Perez, but I do like the Rangers, to answer your question. What's up, Ben Snapping? We're at 120, you guys. Man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you guys want to hit that thumbs up for me, that would be cool. That would be lit. What did the kids say? Gucci? I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm just kidding. All right, so check this out. The Dodgers. Unique spot that I think there's a chance that Dave Roberts is going to give us a freaky deaky lineup. And the reason being is, first of all, Freddie Freeman's coming off an emotional weekend in Atlanta. So I could see a veteran skipper giving him the day off. And I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm not calling it to happen. Emotional series in Atlanta. Last night they played Sunday Night Baseball. So everyone who plays Sunday Night Baseball hates being in that spot and then having to play the next day without some travel. But not only did they play Sunday Night Baseball, they went to extra innings. And that game went a couple of extra innings, right? And then they got to travel from Atlanta to Coors. And you guys know the altitude. So it's a really trappy spot. I feel like I'm sounding like Sean V right now. But there are some maybe unquantifiable elements there, but there also is, I think, an opportunity for Dave Roberts to be a little weird with his lineup today. So just kind of keep that in mind. Maybe we'll look at it. Hello, I am Elias Diaz. All right, but we got Chad Cool taking on Tyler Anderson. The Andersons got tickets to the game? How'd they get tickets at Tyler Anderson revenge game? You guys ever seen him pitch? He's got this leg kick that reminds me of The Rock when he would throw kicks. Dodgers have a 6.9 nice implied run total, and the Rockies sitting at 4.9. We're not going to dive into can we play the Dodgers chat. We're stacking the freaking Dodgers and Coors. I would imagine they're going to come in as one of the highest owned stacks on the slate. I get it. Trey Turner, 6K. Freddie Freeman, 5.8. Will Smith, 5.5. The rest of this lineup is under 5K. That just shouldn't be. And Trace Thompson is bare bones min price on DraftKings. He could still a base. He stole a clutch base yesterday, and he's shown some pop as well. So all of the Dodgers in play. We're waiting on that confirmed lineup. Yada, yada, yada. We did just get a Rangers lineup. We'll go back and fix a couple. Jaron Durant. Remember I said some of the you never know who's on the non-vaccinated list. Jaron Durant is one of the guys on the Boston list. Usually when somebody gets put on the restricted list going into Toronto, just means they're not vaccinated. So that does take out some leadoff speed. Also, Roger Shenhert will open the roof. All right, cool. So we're stacking Dodgers, we're stacking Rockies, we're stacking Coors. I guess the question that we would have here is, could we play Tyler Anderson at 9,500? Because, he's been good. 33, 25, 25, 3 of his last 5 outings. 2 of those last 5 outings, a 5.1 at Cincy, negative fantasy score against the White Sox, and we know that they're pretty solid against lefties here. So I would say my knee-jerk reaction is in 20 or less lineups at 9.5K. I'm probably not playing Tyler Anderson, but in 150, I wouldn't fault you for it. He does have, some history. He knows how to pitch in Coors. Theoretically, not saying he was super efficient in Coors, but he knows that sometimes you gotta be a little different here. So that's kind of lazy, but I think that's the proper way. We don't need to exhaust too much mental on whether or not we're attacking Coors. Yeah, I mean, Tizzle Main says Perez used to come out of the bullpen last year and give up 6 runs to his batters. Can't stand him. I'll just lose money if he has a good night. Yeah, he's turned it up. We see lefties late in their career kind of shift things around. Once pitchers kind of realize, hey, I should do something different, or if they get the right pitching coach or analytical department, they pick up pitches. I can't speak on behalf of like Martin Perez, but for like CC Sabathia, he started his career as a flamethrower, and then he started losing that velo. He started getting lit up, and Andy Pettitte was like, "Yo, CC, you should start throwing a cutter, my dude." And he's like, "You right." and when he got that cutter, CC was able to stretch a couple years out of him. So it's not like it's not unprecedented to do what he's doing. It's just, yeah, you go that long for being a gas can to, oh snap, now you might be leading. Wasn't he leading the league in WAR, or one of the league leaders in WAR? Let me double check that. Pitching leaders in WAR. All right, so he's not leading. He's top 10 still. Martin Perez 3.4 WAR. So yeah. Turner Hawk is not in Toronto as well. All right. Taking the Dodgers tonight, Wheezy. I would imagine you're going to be holding hands with lots of people. Doesn't throw. Tyler Anderson doesn't throw a curve. Look at his pitch repertoire. I mean, we can also just kind of look at how he used to perform in Coors. Cutter, fastball, changeup, a little bit of curve, but yeah, like you said, that's not really enough to speak of. Just a little funky delivery getting them by, right? I just wish the price was a little bit more depreciated. Cool has not been awful in cores and tournaments. You can take a shot at being contrarian to play Chad Cool. Or do you mean to like play the Jays over the Dodgers? Is that what you mean? Or to play? I'm not playing Chad Cool. I spit in the face of people who don't want to play Chad Cool. All right, we got 2 games left, boys and girls. We're almost there. White Sox. Oh, we didn't get Julio Rodriguez. That's all right though. White Sox up against Thor. You guys know what I'm thinking, right? You know what I'm thinking. What am I thinking? Anybody know what I'm thinking? Thinking I could go for a burger is what I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking Tim Anderson might steal 3 bases tonight. So the Angels and the Mariners were involved in a brawl yesterday. There was a bunch of ejections. I don't know that we're going to have overnight rulings. And if we did, we'd likely get an appeal process anyway. Meaning, I don't know who on the Angels might be somebody to watch out for. But I don't think it's not the usual suspects. It was like Raisel Iglesias threw like a plate of, I don't know, trail mix or something. I don't know. So, Thor pitching for the Angels. This is interesting. The White Sox have been really not good against righties all year. 88 WRC plus, walking just 6% of the time, striking out under 20% of the time, but the slugging, the OPS, all that really, really low. With that said, Noah Syndergaard, man, boy, is he allowing some stolen bases. You know what I mean? Guys are running at will on him. So, sure. Let me see. Noah Syndergaard. Let's get some stats. Timmy can't get on it still. I mean, that's fair. I have definitely been at the Tim Anderson fantasy point slot machine. Definitely fair. But my goodness, lean into one and you can steal home, bro. Actually, I think it's under advanced stats, under fielding, right? 18 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing. 18 stolen bases. Guys, it is June 27th. Do you understand how that's so stupid? My goodness, bro. So because of Thor's inability to hold runners, you could add some floor to some opposing stacks. Tim Anderson and Luis Robert, two guys that can steal on you. AJ Pollock can go. Any one of you guys might be able to get a stolen base off of Thor, man. It's rough. It is rough. And Thor has allowed a 263 average to righties, and just a 15% K rate. So if Timmy runs out an infield single, if Luis Robert gets on base, these two guys have a real shot to accrue some fantasy points. So, I mean, I think they're stackable just because, but I also think we will be... Oh, they don't have... Oh, there's Tim Anderson. All right, so I'm thinking Tim Anderson and Luis Robert would be fantasy point candidates. And this is specifically fantasy points, right? I don't care about total bases here because I am looking to grab that floor for stolen bases. Luis Roberts at 8.5 stolen base, or 8.5 fantasy points. And then we're just gonna stack the White Sox as well, just kind of on a hunch. They still got some power. So, but I get it. We should be pessimistic with the White Sox and their splits against righties this year. But man, Thor has just been a different guy when he has runners on base. And Giolito, talk about different guy. A 5.23 expected ERA this season, a 1.56 on the old whip, 27% K rate, 13% swing and strike rate. So these numbers are still kind of good, but the barrel rate has literally doubled from last year. So we're missing something that was in the secret sauce last year. Someone stole his mojo. So what can we find? Most of the team is on direction, not to steal. All right, well, if Tony La Russa is going to be that guy, it is what it is. But man, this is like the freest matchup to steal bases. So if it was like any other skipper, I would say you're full of it. But I could see Tony La Russa being a weirdo. I hate him. 8% swing and strike rate against Toronto, 4.7% against Houston. Batted ball data in these two games. xFIP is yikes through the roof. And then the hard contact rate, 45%, 46, 41. What is the difference? So let's do two things. Let's look at pitch velocity this year versus last year. Fastball sitting around 93.2, curveball about 79.6. So 93.2 versus last year 93.9. It's not that different. 80.7. Are we losing spin rate? Guys, why is Giolito not good? What has happened? What up, Bino? I was doing some digging. Cool, got a slider that only two Dodgers can really hit for real. Man, what are you saying though? You gonna play cool? What up, Matt? Training staff for Sox instructed him not to run to avoid further leg issues. Oh, is that for Timmy? All right. Well, we shall see how true that is, but I guess that would make sense. Was that for Timmy or Robert? 573 expected slugging on his fastball this year. Last year was at 450. So that went up 120 points. That's really the biggest difference. Well, I guess the slider went up and expected. So the spin rate went from... Oh, yeah, he's lost a lot of spin rate. 2345 last year to 2161 this year. You need that sticky stuff. The slider spin rate has plummeted... It's gone down. It's not as drastic as the fastball. So I guess that's... If I had to just make something up, I would say the spin rate is something that we could be watching. And then... what's the movement? I'm not seeing enough movement out there. Minus 1.6 inches of horizontal movement on the fastball last year. Alright, so it's definitely... That's about 2 inches. Giggity. Slider 1.8. Slider's about the same. So I would say the spin rate is the main difference I can spot. Boo. For the whole team, Pollock, Moncada when he's back, Timmy Robert. Why would you want them not to, like, that's how you make. I hate Tony La Russa, bro. I really do. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I just can't imagine not trying to run on Thor when it's so free. Think I'm gonna be on the Boston Red Sox tonight. Gossman's been struggling a bit lately. I can respect that, Travis. I think Gossman's been a little bit unlucky, a lot bit unlucky. But I also think it's fair to get to like Devers, JD, you got Verdugo. I wish Jarren Duran was in the lineup because he has been kind of scrappy and speedy and kind of a good way to manufacture some runs. But yeah, Giolito's strikeout rate to righties has been the thing that has taken the biggest hit, I guess, looking at this difference in spin rate. 4.72 xFIP to righties, 344 average allowed, and a 3.19 home run per nine allowed. That's not what you want going against Mr. Trout. Trout has a 4.54 rating in the bomb detector. That's pretty doggone good. That actually might come out as one of the tops because I think Byron Buxton was at 4.5. So Trout being up there, I feel like Trout's been up there every day in the last week. So yeah, that's it. 8,300 on Giolito. There's a lot of red in this strikeout column. It wouldn't be impossible for Giolito to come through with a solid strikeout game and maybe steal a win here. So I think at 8,300 he's on the board for me, but he definitely wouldn't be like in single entry for me. But I just do think there is a range of outcomes that all those K rates come to play. And then the Angels lineup, whenever it has Ward, Trout, Ohtani, Walsh, I'll take that 1 through 4 and I'll mix and match the other guys. But yeah, kind of a scumdecker spot there. I don't really want to play Thor, so I'm not. Pablo, your SP1, I could dig that. 75 likes is a goal. We can do that. 55. So we need 20 more likes. 20 more thumbs up. And we have one game left. So take a pause for the cause. If you guys want access to the spreadsheet, my player pool, the bomb detector, all that stuff, you can go to rundfs.com, click yourself VIP memberships. We actually have a year-end pass now that's up. This will only be up probably till, I don't know, MLB All-Star break is over. And then when football comes back, there'll be all kinds of new stuff. But this will get you locked in till January 1st, $300. It comes with a $100 credit toward Fantasy Cruncher. So you rebate that down. It could be $200. So I think that's a pretty solid deal. Not only is it going to encompass the rest of baseball, but it's also going to get most of the NFL season up until January 1 and then the start of basketball. So I actually think that's a pretty solid deal based on what the prices will be later in the per month. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, it is up there. And then make sure you're in the free Discord. Link to that is in the description below. We have the premium Discord, so if you do get that year pass, or even if you just get a week pass, you can jump in this premium Discord. I'm usually in voice chat for a couple hours before lock, sometimes after lock. But if you don't want to open up the wallet, that's cool too, man. We're here to make money, not spend money, right? We have a free Discord. The link to that's in the description below. It's been kind of like the lifeblood of the prop conversation throughout the different leagues here, but feel free to talk DFS. And then, of course, if you are a channel member, link your Discord with your YouTube account and unlock some of these channels. And then myself and Josh, whenever we are working on props, we share our lists with that. So a little cool sum for that extra $5 a month on the YouTube channel. We got one game on the docket. It's your main event. It's the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Seattle Mariners. We got Cedric Mullins. And then after this, we'll go and update a bunch of lineups. And then if you guys got some steaming hot takes or questions or anything like that, we have time. 3:21. Remember, following this stream is going to be a WNBA player prop stream. My boy Josh spent the last week on vacation, but he's back. I'm back. And they'll be going over today's, I guess there's a WNBA slate today. And those boys been killing it. And I want to say this. The WNBA prop streets right now is very, very beatable. And it reminds me of when I first started playing NBA DFS. It was so easy. And then it got harder. And I think WNBA is going to get harder as lines makers get sharper. But the WNBA player prop lines are not widely offered by a lot of sports books. So it's not like you can go to Pinnacle or this and that like you can with NBA and football. So we're kind of in a wild west of WNBA player props, where I think PrizePicks hired a lines maker, and I don't know anything about the guy, but I've seen a lot of good screenshots in Discord. So I would say I think eventually WNBA is going to get harder, but right now it's like old school NBA DFS. So get that money, man. I'm jumping in. I'm tailing the boys on their research. I would love to be able to pick up the sport a little bit more. I might sit in on a stream or two down the road. But man, if you just been like, oh, who's playing WNBA, dude, they are making some money, man. They're making mortgage payments and car notes and everything, bro. So be a little bit more receptive on ways to make money, especially when it comes to player props. I get it for DFS because you're limited to the prize pools, but it's a little bit more linear to every other sport on PrizePicks because of the payouts structure being the same. Tyler Wells is on the bump for the Orioles, taking on George Kirby. Wells has a 3.63 expected ERA with a 4.81 Sierra. His ERA is outperforming both of those, so he's a little bit lucky. Just a 15% K rate, 64 innings so far. Not what you want. A $1.25 on the overall home run per 9 on the road this year outside of Camden, and then that 4.62 xFIP on the road as well. So all that plays pretty positively for the Mariners. Again, like I said with the Angels, the Mariners and the Angels got into a little fight yesterday. There's definitely going to be suspensions handed down. I would imagine Jesse Winker's involved in that, but I haven't seen anything yet, and there'll likely be like an appeal process. So I don't know that we'll see any of that unless somebody actually got hurt yesterday. We'll see any of that like come through just yet, but yeah, Mariners have an implied run total 4.2, Orioles at 3.4, so not a whole lot of implied runs to go out there and get today, but I think it's a fun matchup, if nothing else, for the Mariners, and it might be a spot to neutralize a lot of these high K rates for the Mariners. Julio Rodriguez, 28%, Eugenio Suarez, 30%, Taylor Trammell, 36%, Cal Raleigh, 33%. If you're going against a guy that might chop that in half, neutralize that with his 15% K rate, sub 10% swing and strike rate, we might be able to live a little bit more on these ISO numbers. Almost 180 for Julio, 220 for Winker, 233, 232 for Suarez. So I do think I can get behind some Mariners stacks today, but I'm starting to respect the Orioles more and more. But I think Wells is definitely leaving something to be desired. George Kirby on the bump, 20.6% K rate against righties this year, a 26% essentially K rate against lefties. That's a pretty lefty-righty switchy lineup for the Orioles. So I don't hate getting to some Kirby here. I also wonder if we might expect some progression on Kirby's strikeouts to righties, because I know in the minors he was not striking out this low rate against righties. Was Jared Walsh in that brawl? I don't know who all was in that brawl. I know a bunch of coaches got ejected. The clips I seen involved Jesse Winker. And then I saw Raisel Iglesias throw like a table of junk, whatever. In the minors, 15.1 innings with 20 strikeouts. So over a strikeout per inning. So I'm not, it's going to grow. But I do think this 20.6% K rate to righties for George Kirby is going to start normalizing a little bit more based on his pitching acumen, his DNA in the minors. Anyway, 7,100. I think that's really doggone cheap. So I think I might get to tier 2 levels of George Kirby tonight. And both teams are stackable. Bomb detector wise, Moncastle has the highest bomb rating on the Orioles team. A 2.5 home run per 9 to righty so far for Kirby in the major league level. And then on the Mariners side, we got Suarez with a 3.98 bomb rating in the bomb detector. So look out for that. That is the slate. As a reliever last season, Wells had a great K percentage. Yeah, Wells' swing and strike rate has gone down a little bit too, but you see that in the transition from reliever. A lot of times relievers are brought out to face the best matchups for them, and then also you can throw a lot harder out of the bullpen, right? You know you only got 15, 20 bullets, and you're starting. You know you got to be a little bit more cognitive of your endurance, your stamina. You can't, exhaust yourself. So maybe he goes forward in that category. But yeah, we do see that. Ranger Suarez for the Phillies, right, was an elite closer. Stretch him out, not as impactful, right? That bang been done 3 sips ago. Nah, there's still a little bit in there. I'm paced for myself. All right, we got a couple lineups come out, so let's get some lineups in. Say, you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that? By the way, what is Kirby's K prop? 5.5 Ks on the night. That's interesting. I would be somewhat interested in that. Did we get a live line on Kirby for the first couple innings? 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. That's more than likely a push. More than likely. Yeah, I think a lot of strikeouts are in the bottom half. So I probably just want to target the 5.5 overall. All right, let's get some lineups typed up, and then I'll do some more shopping. All right, we did get a Pirates and Nats confirmed lineups. Pirates, O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, Daniel Vogelbach, Bly Madris, Jack Sawinski. I'm liking this Pirates lineup, man. If I'm being completely honest, Josh Van Meter. There's a lot of lefties all of a sudden. Good God, there's only 1 righty in this lineup. So we can focus on Feddy's 16% K rate to lefties. He doesn't give up a lot of hard contact, but Pirates came. They came for the platoon. Nats lineup is out. Cesar Hernandez, Juan Soto, Josh Bell, Nelly Cruz, Luis Garcia, Kybert Ruiz, Yadiel Hernandez, Michael Franco, and Lane Thomas. Take a ride with me. Skip the song. There we go. Vibe out. What else we got here? Did we get a Red Sox lineup? We did. Rob Refsnyder, former Yankee great. Matter of fact, I want to say he played for the Blue Jays too, but I don't know. Let me see here. Rob Refsnyder. Actually, we're literally on Baseball Reference gun. He did. So, matter of fact, he played for all teams. Am I tripping? Yeah, he has. He's been around the AL East. A little revenge game if you're nasty. JK. But not really. But also JK. Christian Vasquez. Jackie Bradley Jr. Bobby Dalbec. Still a good hit for average team. 2 through 5. Super solid averages, decent OPS, and ISOs. JBJ's doesn't exist. Christian Vasquez, no power, but hard strikeout. Bobby Dalbec, a lot of power, but does strike out. So, no Duran, though. That was a nice little tool that they had leading off for him. What else we got? We got Cardinals lineups. We just got an Orioles lineup. Shout out the Orioles, bro. Last game on the night. Out here showing people how it's done. Tommy Edman, Donovan, Goldie, Arenado, Gorman, Carlson, Juan Yepez, Lars Nootbaar, and Ivan Herrera. Now, wait a minute. So, is Herrera the catcher? So, maybe we don't have to be as pessimistic on on Kisner catching. So, this might be his first game ever catching Wainwright. Ricky catcher. And I know this kid's been working with Yachty a lot. Alright. Rangers lineup came out. Marcus Semien leading off. Corey Seager. Adolis Garcia is batting third. Jonah Heim. Cole Calhoun. Hey, Calhoun tapping into those lefties, maybe. Nathaniel Lowe. Mitch Garver's a little lower in the lineup than we expected. And Charlie Culberson, the split platoon guy, batting ninth. And that's it. Other than the Orioles. We get the Orioles confirmed. Mullins, Mancini, Santander, Austin Hayes. All right, Austin. Adley. He's batting fifth. Moncastle batting 6th. Rugi's in the 7th spot. Jonathan Araz. I think he played for the Twins. Araz. Or maybe it was the Red Sox. It might have been the Red Sox. Or both. Maybe it was definitely... I mean, it might have been both. That was the Red Sox. Okay. Alright, so that's all the confirmed lineups. Alright, let's get caught up on chat. Julio Rodriguez, the lock. I can get with that. No Franchi Cordero against a righty. Dalbec's good for 1 to 2 Ks. So what you're saying, Steve, is we should keep an eye on the MLB Live, and if they open up Gausman 2nd, 3rd inning at 2 Ks, we should be investors in said strikeouts. That's what you said. How about Austin Theory? All right, Austin. I got 1 sip left. Araz played on both. Last with the Red. Did he play on the Twins? I feel like I remember him on the Twins. I'm having a... maybe I'm just thinking Luis Arise and I'm racist. I don't know. I don't see Twins, so I might just be Mandela affecting Luis Arise and Jonathan Araz. The world's going to steal bases on third. Yo, Ant, there's hey man, there's conflicting reports. The White Sox have been reportedly reporting to not run, but Thor is just Thor. I mean, he's like the exception to the rule, right? I understand why you would want to be careful with Tim Anderson and Luis Roberts and their injuries and blah, 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 blah. And let's see, Chicago on the season is 20th in stolen bases. So I guess that's fair. But, man, you're on against Thor. La Russa's got to go if you're not running on Thor, bro. Like, that's dumb. So what's the splits on the youngin for Boston? Which youngin? The pitcher, we did that one at the start of the stream. He was decent strikeout guy against righties in the minor league level. Remember, minor league level rarely ever translates 1-to-1 immediately to the big league level. So that's what we got there. Didn't strike out lefties as much, but there's only one lefty in the Blue Jays lineup. That's Kevin Biggio, and he kind of sucks. Wow, really on WNBA? I'm just saying, Darius. WNBA may not be something that you guys are interested in watching, but the money's out there right now. It's a soft market, and it's only going to get tougher. So there's going to be a point where maybe it gets too tough. But in the meantime, I'll let Stanford neuroscientist Josh do the work for me, right? Perez just come out. All right. Cool. Let's do another drop here, chat. If you guys do want to grab some WNBA or play some player props, both PrizePicks and Underdog are sponsors of the stream, I guess you could say. They take care of me every month, and the way they take care of me is by you guys signing up with my code, and that shows them that, hey, there's some value in this kid's YouTube channel. So if you sign up using my code, they'll double your first deposit, both of them, up to $100. And you can turn $20 into $40 and mess around. It's kind of like parlaying, meeting player props. And then Underdog is really not their main product in terms of player props. They do a lot of best ball drafts, and I can't say what they're gonna do, but a lot of best ball drafts, and we're talking money in those NFL best ball drafts, literally millions of dollars. So even if you're not into player props, but you know you're gonna be playing some best ball, hey, sign up using my code, take advantage of that double your first deposit bonus, and then if you're gonna go catch a game anytime soon or a concert, anything like that, think about using the SeatGeek app marketplace to find your tickets, and if you use code GUNDACKER, they'll actually take $20 off your first order. So if you want to go catch a baseball game, sweat some lineups, throw my name in the SeatGeek promo thing, and they will save you some money. That's beer money. That's parking money. Boom. I guess that'll do it for me, unless you guys got anything. Otherwise, in about 20 minutes, The boys will be on this channel with the WNBA stream. Twitter.com/Gundecker if you got anything else for me. And then I will be in the RunDFS.com pre-lock voice chat if you guys want to kick it with me. We're making our lineups. No Jazz Chisholm in the Marlins lineup. Does that make any of us more likely to play Adam Wainwright tonight? That's a strong maybe, right? Strong maybe. Oh, bomb detector. That's a good call out, James. Let's do a bomb detector for the boys one time. And I also will probably try and tweet it out again later once we get all the lineups confirmed. And then I'll also try and tighten up my my prop list. So Kevin Biggio at the top, but he doesn't count. None of these guys. We're gonna take the Blue Jays out of the bomb detector because they're breaking it. It's Trout, Buxton, Soto. This is a very okay gun. Thanks for telling us to play Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, and Juan Soto. Here's $5. No really like sneaky names. I guess Garver, Ohtani. This is what it looks like if you want to screenshot it. I think Suarez is also fun. What two hitters are we targeting again, Gun? For prize picks? So I do like the Buxton fantasy points. I guess we could also sign up for Mike Trout. Mike Trout, because I don't strike out. That's the wrong tab. 8 fantasy and 1.5 total bases against Mr. Giolito. Also, Ohtani, Trout, and Marsh on the home run model, or on the home run triangle. I'd probably take Trout's total bases, but I think both are in play here. I'll put Trout total bases first over 1.5 TB, but we'll also put 8 FPS. So, yeah, I'll try and add some more to the stack list or to the prop list here. Is that it? Is that everybody? Cool. What up, AOD? I think I caught everybody. Hey, no bots. A whole stream. I didn't see one bot. Okay, that's good. All right, chat. I appreciate you making part of my day be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them. I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.